Morning everyone, welcome to Vlogmas day. I'm going to run out of fingers. 4. I am feeling slightly better. I didn't get a lot of sleep, but I got more interrupted sleep. No, more uninterrupted sleep. And so that's good. It's 10 to 8 here on Wednesday. I have a day of boring chewing ahead, and I thought I might, Ian doesn't get up, I'm going to bring him a drink about 8:30. I think we're in tandem because he's not sleeping well either at the moment, bless him. So I usually get up early and then make him a cuppa. I feel like because he does pretty much everything for me, it is nice to do that little thing for him every day, because I'm a morning person, and I think he pretty much is as well. He's not grumpy or anything in the morning, but the morning's always my best and most productive time. So with a view to that, I'm going to try and tidy my table of doom. It's supposed to be my cutting table, but it's never been that. It's just my whips table and crap that I don't really know what I'm doing with. Thank you so much to all of you who commented and carry on commenting on my vlogs. Normally I do try and well, I enjoy, really, it's one of my favourite things is replying to you, but I did think with Vlogmas it might get a little bit difficult to try and reply to everybody, so I am just replying to odd ones if you ask me a specific question, or if you are a kind of new commenter, but I don't want you to feel like you're not valued if you're somebody that comments on all of my vlogs, because you are massively valued, and those names I see every single time. I really appreciate that you understand that it really helps when it's so stupid, but YouTube prioritises vlogs that get the most comments and engagement. So as well as the fact that you're reaching out to connect with me, you really are helping other people see my vlog, and that really helps, and so I massively appreciate you. So to you, big snogs from me. Right, I can't procrastinate any longer. It is tidy time. What you can't see is that she's actually laid on my heat pad that I use for my back. She seeks it out like a heat-seeking missile and then won't move off it. No flies on you, is there, Bets? Hi everyone, it is around 4 p.m. and I've had my first and only nap of the day. I do have an afternoon nap, and that's because when I take my painkillers at lunchtime, they tend to hit me, and I do have a bit of a slump during the afternoon. So it's been nap time in the nursery, and I have done some stuff today, some boring chores that I needed to get out of the way, so that's great. I have been waiting in for a delivery all day that hasn't come yet, which is a bit annoying. It did mean that Ian had to go out on his own to take Betsy to the vetsy. She's absolutely fine. It was just her annual checkup and jabs, and she's extremely cool cat. She's come back completely unbothered by it all. The only thing she's doing is asking for extra food, which, all right then, the vet actually says that she needs to put on a bit of weight, so I'm happy to oblige Betsy. So Ian's gone out now, and he has gone to see, geek alert, he's gone to see Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back or something. One of the Jay and Silent Bob films. If you're a fan of Kevin Smith, you will know what I'm talking about. If you're anybody else, then, but anyway, he's gone to see that, and then he's going out for drinks with friends, which means he won't be back at all until later on, so I can finally get on with cutting the coat out. Yesterday I didn't do any cutting out because I felt too knackered, and I thought this is when you make mistakes. But what I did do was I made the alterations to the pattern, then remembered at night that I need to change the facing pieces because I've only changed the body pieces, to add that little bit of extra on the seam allowance to cope with his rugby player shoulders. So I'm going to do that now, and I'm going to cut out that bloody fabric, which you can probably tell I am procrastinating about because I'm scared of it. But before I do that, I'm going to light my Christmas candles. We've got Yuletide Cheer, The Perfect Tree, Gingerbread House, Home for Christmas, Evergreen Mist, and Icy Blue Spruce. I haven't got the trimmings up yet because I used to do them on the 1st of December, but since I started getting real trees, I've held off a bit longer because obviously the earlier you get the tree, the more the needles drop. So I will be getting one around mid-December. Hello again. I want to scream. This is not going as I'd hoped. I haven't cut anything out. All I've got is a pile of bloody pattern pieces and the pattern sheets, because Berta put half of the flipping instructions on the pattern sheets. So even though I've traced out the pattern pieces, I'm still having to open out these massive unwieldy sheets of tissue paper to find the cutting layouts. I traced all the pattern pieces quite methodically. There's no flipping notches on them. Bird aren't a fan of notches, so we've got hardly any notches to use. I made the adjustment to the seams yesterday. It's only quite a small adjustment, and then as I was about to start cutting out, I realised that I had added on 2 pieces, I'd added to the wrong seam, so I had to take that off and redo it. That's not too much of a problem, but then I realised that because I've added extra ease to these two seams here at the back, I'm going to have to add extra ease to the facing, the collar stand, and perhaps the collar, which fits partly on the collar stand and partly on the collar. And because of the way those pieces are tailored, they don't have the seams in the same place, I'm going to be adding ease at a different place, so it could potentially affect the fit. And basically I just feel like this whole enterprise is beyond me. Normally I'm quite a have-a-go hero when it comes to sewing. I'm like, it's only fabric. But because it's for somebody else, I did check actually, and I've got 4 meters of the fabric. So Janie of the past obviously thought ahead and bought plenty of fabric, which is great. So if I mess it up, I can always do it again. Obviously the collar pieces are only small anyway, so I can make the adjustment, and then, or maybe I could even try without the adjustment and try and ease it in. But it's going to be 12 mil either side, 24 mil, it's too much to ease in, isn't it? Forget that. So that's where I'm at the moment. The other thing is, I've been waiting in all day for a delivery that hasn't come. So I've spent the last hour on the phone with various people, and I've handed it over to Ian. He's having a go, but I've not heard anything from him. So Lord knows what's happening with that, but it is a bit stressful. So I don't know how much more footage I will film today, because at some point I'm going to have to sort of edit this and upload it. But the kitchen time's pinged. I've got a lasagna in the oven, so I'm about to sit down and have a ready meal. And then my friend Chani, I seem so happy, is having a little de-stash at 7, and I kind of want to be looking at that. But it's difficult really to be looking on my phone and sewing at the same time, so I'm kind of going to have to do one or the other. So I shall check back in with you in a bit, and you'll see whether or not I've grit my teeth and got back down to the sewing, or if I've sacked it off and shopped for some fabric that I don't need. See you later. It's 7 PM and I should be up doing Ian's coat, but I'm caught in the horns of a dilemma, friends, because... Hello, Betsy. Does anyone else find it absolutely impossible to move when they've got a cat on them? They've graced you with their presence and you feel you should honour that until they decide to leave. I'm also doing some patchwork as I sit here. I'll show you. English paper piecing. A quilt that I've designed myself that I'll pop in a picture of. These are 2-inch squares and I'm making up little 4-patch blocks, and I sewed those up separately. I don't know if you're supposed to do it that way, but little half square triangles. You can do them a lot faster on the sewing machine, but I like to hand sew, you know. I like to use the sewing machine to make clothes, and I like to do this when I'm sitting down and do some teeny weeny little stitches. It's 7:15 and I am on it like a car bonnet. Pow! Well, that did not go as expected. I stood and sweated over that table of fabric for about 45 minutes. I can't work out whether it's an even plaid or an uneven plaid. I've done the little test that you do where you fold the corner back and it looks like it's even, and then I stand and look at it and it looks like it's not even. So I've decided that once again I don't want to cut it out when I'm unsure and I'm tired, and I think this is something that I need to learn a little bit more about. So I found a very helpful tutorial online that I'm going to watch either tonight or tomorrow morning, and I think that I want to tackle this task in the morning because that's when I'm kind of mentally clearest. So I'm going to tell Ian to have a lie-in tomorrow morning and see if I can attack it and at least start cutting this bloody thing out, because it's becoming a bit of a beast that's hanging over me. But I do know one thing that has made me, you know, I don't know if I'm good sewist or not, but it's made me the sewist that I am, and that is determination and having that grit to put a project down when it's, or throw it across the room when it's really annoying you and you can't do it, and then going back to it. I remember when I started sewing, absolutely, I was crying over the amount of times I read the instructions to insert an invisible zip. I could not do it. It was the first dress I'd made, and you know what? It wasn't an invisible zip that I was trying to insert, and so I kept on looking at it and thinking, but the teeth are the wrong way, and I turned the zip upside down and over and over again. And I mean, I spent hours on it. I remember Ian coming home and me standing there just staring at this zip. But I got it in the end, you know, and the dress got made. So now that that little pearl of wisdom, that little homily is finished, I have decided that I'm just going to spend half an hour working on my 2 dresses, because I just need to kind of sew some seams and remind myself that I actually can sew. Hello, I have been and I've tacked in the sleeves, and this is the kind of a very rough trying on because I don't have the back done up. I think it's okay. I think that the shoulders are a little bit wide. I think I probably just need to shave a little bit off. I shave a little bit off the arm side. I might do that before I put them back in again. It's hard to tell what's going on at the back because I can't pin it on my own. Once the skirt's on and pulls it down, I think the fit overall will be a lot better. I'm quite happy with it. You know, for a first go, and never having kind of used this fabric before, or this pattern, I think it's going to make quite a nice pretty dress. I'll go and try on the other one. Hello, this one is looking more like it. I'm pretty happy with how this is coming on. Again, I can't do the back up, which is altering the fit a little bit, but that's how it's looking at the moment, which I'm quite happy with. Obviously there's all this to deal with, but I often find that putting a zip in kind of sorts out a multitude of sins, really. What I'll do before I progress with either of these any further is when Ian's back, I'll get him to pin me in them so that I can see if I need to make any adjustments before I sort of put the sleeves in properly, etc. I can see that the sleeve head is a little bit too far out on me, but I don't know. I think it's looking to me like I need to remove some from all around here, maybe a centimetre from all around the arm side, coming right up to the top of the sleeve head, because that to me is looking like that's too much ease there. But if I do that, it might make it too tight across the bust, so don't know about that. I suppose I could try it on one of these, and if it works then amend it on the flat pattern. But for today, I think I'm going to leave it there. I hope you've enjoyed pootling around the house with me. I know I haven't been, we haven't had the most exciting day, but it's real life, isn't it? Tomorrow is probably going to be more of the same because I have to wait in again for this I don't know if you know, but I'm agoraphobic, so I don't really go out anyway. When I do go out, it's quite difficult. I know a lot of you already know that, but I don't know how many new people are watching this for Vlogmas. So on Friday, I have quite a big thing, which is that Ian is going up to Nottingham for a gig, and my friend Chantel lives up there, and so I've booked to go with him, and that would mean being away for the night, and I'm a little bit, well, we booked it so that we got really cheap tickets, and we didn't use my disabled rail card, which means that if I don't go, it doesn't matter, Ian's not tied to my ticket. So you never know, you might get some outdoor footage on Friday and Saturday. It would be great to go, and I feel like it would do me a lot of good, but who knows, let's wait and see. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, or as I always say, we'll burn that bridge when we come to it. Right, I'm going to go to bed and edit you and get you online so that you've got something to wake up to in the morning, and I'm just going to say lots of love from me and Camden. Bye. Hello, I'm Betsy. Hello, I'm very pleased to meet you.